Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Don Husam Habibis. We are out here and we're here to talk about football. We're here to talk about the English Premier League. We're here to talk about three clubs specifically today. So buckle up. Big up to all of you guys. Please do make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Do make sure you guys are subscribing. I mean, there's already 115. Inshallah, sit there, found guilty. There's already 115 people in the chat. Please hit the like button, subscribe, keep getting involved. And all the guys that are coming on today, all their links are in the description. And you guys know how we operate on this channel because of our community. Like we wish Treadline Teranga happy birthday on Saturday. Today is Ed's birthday. So happy birthday, Ed. All of you guys in the chat, please do make sure you guys are wishing Ed a happy... Oh, there he is. He's already. Big up to you. Happy birthday, my guy, Ed. Big up to you. This guy calls melons cantaloupes. It's just he's just a yank, just for no reason, just moving like an American. Anyway, speaking of moving like, this guy, he's been on my channel before, I'm quite sure. You know, and he actually is Italian. He's not cosplaying like an Italian like Mo is, you get me? He actually is Italian, guys. That's why it's in the name. The clue is in the name, Giuseppe. No random English guys called Giuseppe. Let's be real here. And if he was English and called Giuseppe, that's quite weird. It's like an Italian called James. It just doesn't work. You get me? So he actually is Italian, you know, and he's an Italian Arsenal fan. So he's been through a lot of pain. The only person I can think of that's been through more pain in his life is probably a Ghanaian Spurs fan, because that's even worse, I'm sure, isn't he? Ghanaians like haven't celebrated anything in terms of AFCON, and he's probably seen one Carabao Cup. So yeah, but at least he's seen a couple FA Cups here and there. But joining us on the channel today, man like Giuseppe. How are you doing, Giuseppe?
Big up. It ain't that bad. I've seen the World Cup, seen 06 World Cup and stuff. So yeah, I'm 27, man.
So... You're so shameless. So you were 8 years old in 2006?
No, 10.
Oh.
10. I can remember it, bro. I can remember it. But yeah, big up, yeah.
Big up.
Thanks for having me back, obviously, and stuff. And yeah, listen, it's going to be a nice one today. It's been a nice weekend for Arsenal fans.
Look how giddy he is. I love it. He won the derby, to be fair, so that's why he's this giddy. Joining us next on the channel, you get me, the eternal enemy. You know, we've spent 2 years fighting on YouTube. 2 years spent every week fighting on YouTube on different shows, you know. But today, there is no need to fight. To be fair, that we will find a reason to fight anyway. But obviously, since I left back again, I haven't really worked with them. And obviously, we used to work with each other as well before on Battle of the North. Shout out Matisse. So, the rival, the enemy, the fraud himself. Man like Flawless is in the building. Hello, Flawless.
Big up, man. Fantastic intro. Big up for having me. Much appreciated. Shouts to chat as well. Big up my lad Giuseppe also. And yeah, man, like you said, that made me laugh. That's an eternal enemy. That is facts. That is facts. But you're much calmer on your channel, to be honest. It's when we're on other channels.
I am.
We rarely, unless it's like a preview or something, we rarely.
Did I tell you, Lewis, that troops are the problem? I told you.
No, you don't do that. It's you, man. You know what I'm saying? You're just calmer on your channel, so there you are.
I'm innocent. I've never fought anyone. It's all Troops' fault. That's Troops. I know you're probably lurking somewhere. It's all your fault, Troops. I hope you know this.
Yeah, shouts to
all your fault. Big up to you. Big up to you. And finally, last but not least, making his debut on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, the biggest troublemaker in the Spurs fan base. You get me? But we love it because he backs his club, as he likes to say. Man like Deji is in the building. How you doing, Deji, man?
Yeah, big up Sam and big up Giuseppe, Lawless. Yeah, no, thank you, man. I really wish, Husam, you would have reached out a lot sooner. You know, I would have preferred to have been on this channel before the North London derby. It's been an absolute disaster. But no, do you know what? Now is better than later. So yeah, delighted to be here, man. I'm looking forward to today's show, man. So big up the rest of the panel.
Big up to you, Deji. Big up to Deji, Flawless, and Giuseppe. Guys, all these guys' channels is in the description. Sarcasm City TV, Sicilian Gunner, Deji Spurs. Go subscribe to every single one of them. Go subscribe to them as well. Subscribe to this channel too. We are getting to almost at 36K, so let's get there as well. So please like this video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Big up to Connor Keating, who says, big up Husam. How far do you think each club will go in the Champions League? Also, big up Giuseppe. Agree with most of his Arsenal takes, always balanced. I'll be honest with you, the only fair way to answer this is it genuinely depends on the draw. Meaning, Liverpool this season, no one looks at Liverpool as a serious threat. But if they give me Porto, AC Milan, Benfica, and Valencia or whoever on the way to a final, then I'm going to get to the damn final. You get me? So it really just depends on the draw. If I get Madrid or like someone tough like that, I might get knocked out in the round of 16. So I don't know. It depends on the draw. So I think this question is premature. I know you're an Arsenal fan as well. And even last season, had you been on an easy side of the draw, nothing stopped you from getting to the final. So the draw matters. Like I hate to act like the draw doesn't matter. Guys, the draw matters. Like it does matter. Remember when we got the quadruple charge season, we played Benfica, Porto, Villarreal, and someone else on the way to a Champions League final. So the draw does matter, to be fair. So yeah. Big up to my guy H, who says the stream is one for the ages. Football's most controversial yet charismatic figure debuts. Deji, Husam, advice for next time. This man deserves a prime time slot so he can educate Hamza. Bro, I spoke to Deji this Friday, but unfortunately Deji was fully booked. Like everyone wanted Deji on their channel. I wanted to get him on for the Friday night preview, but unfortunately couldn't make it. But listen, better to arrive late than to never arrive. You get me? So he's here. And this is a prime time stream, 2 p.m. You get me? Everyone's chilled. People in Australia, this is the time for you in the night. People in the US, you just wake up, you're having your coffee. You get me? Ed's already celebrating his birthday. It's like 7 a.m. in the US. Get a grip, Ed. I'll be honest with you. Who says happy birthday to himself at 7 a.m.? I'll be sorry.
Shout out to Ed, man.
Yeah. Come on, man, Ed. Anyway, listen, big up H. Big up to you, Connor. Big up all the people who support the channel. And let's just get this party started with Tottenham Hotspur, because I feel like this is the topic that we need to start with. Big up Lewis as well in the chat. I kind of want to ask you two questions, Deji. First, I want to get your thoughts on the derby, and second, I want to get your thoughts on Ange. So let's just start off with the derby stuff, and then I'll ask you about Ange, because I can't lie to you, it's been civil war settings for Tottenham Hotspur. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, the derby for me, when we reflect on it, I have to say it's a disappointment, because no matter how crap you are in the season, how good you are, the main thing is you got to turn up for the North London derby. And I'm really intrigued to hear what Giuseppe's got to take, especially when you said he's got a balanced view. Then I'm expecting to hear a very balanced view, unlike some of the dustiest Arsenal cronies I've been hearing from the last couple of days. Let's just be real. The first thing that we saw was that Arsenal, they showed Tottenham respect. I've never seen anything quite like it. It was quite breathtaking. In fact, it was a work of art to see 11 men behind the ball. Arsenal's meant to be 5 years into their project, under Arteta, going for the title, big chest. And they came to my gaff and they looked like hush puppies, sat back and said, oh no, we don't want to go toe-to-toe with Tottenham because they are better in terms of ball possession, because that's really what we saw. And then everything I said before the game took place. I told them about Burner Boy. I said, with your doggy on the pitch, this is not Ben Davis. He's not doing jack. He did nothing. Granted, everyone keeps telling me, well, he got the assist from a corner. That was it. He couldn't do nothing out on the pitch. You get what I'm saying? That's the point I was making. What was he going to do on the field? Nothing. Martinelli was rubbish. And to be honest, apart from Martinelli's soft shot, everyone keeps saying, Martinelli had a chance. I mean, it was soft. I mean, he tried to bend the ball into my keeper's hand. So that doesn't even count as a credible opportunity for me. So Tottenham had the ball possession. We had the domination in the location. But I'm not going to lie, we had no penetration. It was rubbish. We just needed to shoot. Solanke could have shot. Maddison could have shot. They just didn't. It's like they were overthinking it. That game had 0-0 written all over it. I think the difference between the two teams on the weekend were three main areas for me. I thought Vicario is, a.k.a. vicarious liability, if the Italians put him in their national team, then they deserve what happens next. Get out of the top 10 in world football if you put Vicario in goal. Get him out. He's rubbish. Simply because he's just shaky. You knew he was nervous. Do you get me? And when your goalkeeper's not certain, your back line can't be certain. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas Raya, I remember saying at half-time, he's looking like safe hands. He's looking like whatever we do, he's going to get his hand to it, his foot to it, maybe even his nose to it. And that's the difference between Vieira and Vicario. Romero, I'm convinced the difference between Spurs and Arsenal on the weekend was Saliba. Had we had Saliba and they had Romero, Tottenham win. Because these moments of this lapse in concentrations pissing me off. He was given one job. On corners, man mark Gabriel. He let him go. We lost the game. He did the same against Newcastle. Moment lapse, Newcastle win. And he did it with Vardy, and they got the equalising goal. So Romero has single-handedly cost Tottenham 4 points this season. And I think 4 points is 4 too many for a supposed World Cup winner.
Is the other one Newcastle, the one that you...
Yeah, the Newcastle, the Isak goal is because he played him onside. Everyone else is running towards the goal. This brother is walking towards Pope. I don't know what he was thinking. The ball's going that way and he's walking that way. So we know there's an issue with Romero that we need to sort out. A lot of Tottenham fans shake their bum for him. For me, I called him out in the summer and said he's a liability. He's got to go. And then Brennan Johnson, for crying out loud, the poor boys had to turn off his Instagram. He's just can't start. I prefer Brennan Johnson to come on as an impact player. But what was Postecoglou thinking in starting his brother? But look, for me...
Do you think Brennan Johnson's been scapegoated a little bit?
I think he needs... Yes, he is. He needs more protection from Postecoglou. Postecoglou could have protected him by just not starting him. The fact that he started him, we knew he was going to get scapegoated because we knew he wasn't going to do anything. The one thing I'll just quickly say is this last thing, is that Arsenal fans up and down the country shaking their bum. It was an excellent performance. We managed the game. Shut your mouth. You didn't manage nothing. You were rubbish. Had Tottenham been able to finish off their dinner, you would have lost. There was nothing about Arsenal's performance that indicated that they were good or in control.
Deji, don't you think that was their plan though? Because you mentioned about Spurs,
I think that was their plan as well.
That was their plan because they knew you lot weren't going to score.
Lawless, this myth about Arsenal sitting back is like trying to drive a Ferrari in gear one. It can't happen. When you put the foot down, it quickly goes to 60 miles an hour. If you've ever driven a Ferrari, you put your foot. Arsenal is a team that needs to dominate possession because of the players they have.
Wait, why do they sit back? Why? No, wait. Why they can sit back? Because they sat back and won the game.
No, they sat back because they were playing a superior footballing team in Spurs.
All right,
they're not going to do that again.
But don't you feel I think if the next time they play you at your place, if Ange's still in charge, that's the game plan. They do the exact same thing.
Then the thing is, bro.
And when they go to Anfield as well, and when they go to the
Etihad, they play on Sunday. They're going to do the same thing.
They're going to be even worse at the Etihad on Sunday. It's going to be even worse.
Dare I say it then? Tottenham, Postecoglou's system, the high line works then, because if it means that you're going to drop back and have hardly any clear-cut chance on goal, because Arsenal, apart from the corner, they didn't really have a clear-cut chance on goal in the whole game. That means after a while, this style of play works, because Arsenal looked pretty dusty. I'm not going to lie to you. That was probably the worst North London derby performance from that club I've ever seen.
You are looking at this from Tottenham glass.
Deji, you looking, and this is me saying this as a United fan. Yeah. I can't stand Arsenal, but that was on purpose what they did.
Okay, Lawless, apart from Gabriel's header, at any point did you think these brothers were going to score?
Yeah, because I knew they was going to get one chance.
Yes, every set piece.
I didn't see anything in the game to indicate that this team
I agree with you, Deji, in regards to they weren't going to create multiple chances. I didn't expect that to happen, and it didn't happen because I don't really rate their attack like that. Yeah. I think you mentioned the Dogi already. He's a great matchup for Saka. Don't rate Havertz. Don't rate Martinelli. Trossard, we know, is better off the bench. However, all they needed was one chance because you lot were not going to score. And we know they are defensively very good. And you mentioned the goal. I think it's as much as Romero's at fault, which he is, that's on Vicario. It's in the 6-yard box.
Yeah, no.
Come catch the ball. Come punch the ball. I look at Vicario mainly for that. Come grab. If I'm a Spurs fan, I'm livid.
I'm livid with Romero because we saw him in the first half, and I even said, it's great that Romero's marking Gabriel because Gabriel's the best header of the ball at Arsenal. Romero's our best header of the ball. He let him go. But we know that the Premier League's all about fine margins. Mm-hmm. If that's Saliba, he doesn't lose Gabriel. And that is the difference. I think the difference right now for Spurs is that we need a defender that can concentrate for the full 90 minutes. Had Romero just concentrated, I disagree. Arsenal didn't.
You don't blame Vicario. You don't blame Vicario. You don't blame Vicario for the goal.
Vicario's dusty, bro. I blame Vicario, but even more so, I blame Romero. Romero switched off 3 times and cost us 3 times.
Deji, bro, please. Yeah, big up Deji, yeah, because I love that you stand for your club, and I love it because I'm the same with Arsenal. But bro, like, we come into this game like missing our 2 key midfielders. Now, if Rice and Odegaard were in the team, we probably don't sit back as much as we did, but we knew we were weakened. We knew we have Man City next week, and we're like, we don't need to overplay this game and give you a chance to win the game. Yeah, because yes, we all know, yeah, you can get something at your ground against us. It doesn't matter how much better we are than you, because Spurs and Arsenal, we know when it comes to the derby games, anything can happen. But the point is, we were like, we've been watching you. Arteta's a clever manager and he adapts. He's seen you this season and said they can't score goals right now. So we'll just sit back because they will not score goals. And we only need 1 chance to get a goal. And it happened. We know how weak you are at set pieces. We know how good we are at set pieces. So we looked at it and said, we get a set piece, we get a few set pieces, we'll end up getting a goal. Lo and behold, what happened in the game? We got a set piece.
1 set piece. But were you happy with your team's performance, legitimately?
Yes.
Based on what you've done previously, how you play, how you dominate, how you source, Deji, there was none of that. There was none of that on the weekend.
I'm happy. You know why I'm happy? Because I always say it. When it comes to away in the North London derby, 3 points is all one I care about. Yeah, the 3 points in the away at the North London derby is all I care about. If it was at home and we done this performance, I wouldn't have been happy. But the fact that we were at your ground and done this performance, I am happy because it showed that we were just resolute, done what we had to do, got out with the 3 points. When we've got injuries, when you looked at it, like 2 of our centre back and left back got booked in the first half, and I was a little bit worried because I'm like, we haven't got anyone on the bench to come on for them because we got 4 defenders injured at the moment. Kiwior was our only defender on the bench. So going into the game, this game, because I'll give Tottenham credit as well. Tottenham are a better team in possession under Ange. Yeah, you hold the ball better, you press a lot better, and you don't give Arsenal. You wouldn't have given us loads of time on the ball that we would have needed because you close us down. Plus, it's a derby, you get up for it more. So we knew that. So we had to come with this game plan to secure the 3 points. There's nothing shameful about that, in my opinion. Because
I respect that. That's all I've wanted to hear from Arsenal fans, and they've all denied me that. But big up to you for being truly the balanced person, because you have to acknowledge that you have to put some respect where respect is due. And that's basically what you're saying. We have to respect what you were coming up against.
Yeah, because listen, at the end of the day, for us, the North London derby, we all know it. There's been years where we've had Thierry Henry, Perez and all these guys, and you've had bums, let's be honest, and you've still got points against us. You've still held us the thing. So we can't ever think that going into this game, it's a guaranteed win away from home. There's never a even though we've won the last 3, just put that in, but there's no guarantee in winning that game. So for me, going into this game, it was that definitely with the injuries and that, it was the right game plan to do to get the 3 points. That's why I'll say it was a good performance, because the best of the best teams, in my opinion, no, they're not too arrogant when they shouldn't be. Like, you can be arrogant, but if it costs you, then it costs you the league. We're against a team, a juggernaut in Man City. So these games, we can't be too arrogant to say we're just going to run through Spurs no matter who we have on the pitch. And that we knew that in this game, Arteta knew in this game, let's just go get the points, because honest to God, you lose this game, and then you lose the Man City game, and it's looking tough for the rest of the season, because you're far behind at this point where we are in the season, and you've got no more capability for a slip up in the season. Whereas winning this game takes pressure off the Man City game. It takes pressure off the rest of the season, in my opinion, because once again, this is our top 3 hardest game of the season. Always. Yeah.
And here's the thing, Deji. I think what Flawless said is true. I think Arsenal did this on purpose. What you're saying is not wrong, but the problem is Arsenal did. That's the Arsenal game plan, what you described, which is give Spurs the ball. We're going to hit on the counter attack. We're going to score in a set piece. You saw how Arteta celebrated with the set piece coach because that's their game plan. Yes, I know it might sound crazy because it's like essentially Tony Pulis football, but it's the reality. That's what they're doing because me.
But it's a risky style of play, though.
It's non-risky. Risky is club ball, which is we'll come to Tottenham Hotspur, we'll attack, and we'll rely on our forward line scoring. With Arsenal, they're basically trying to clean sheet their way to a league title. They're making sure that their defense is stable, they're defending really well. And the one thing that I say is, there's a guy, I don't know if you guys saw this, there's a guy who won like 500, 600 pounds because of me. He actually listened to me. He's like, Husam said it's going to be Arsenal 1-0. And look how much, obviously, if you're in the chat, don't bet. But he made a £40 bet and won 603 because I said Gabriel will score from a corner.
6,000.
Yeah. Wow. So I said, here's my thing, right? As soon as Arsenal scored from that set piece, on my watch along, I was like, guys, it's over. Because for two reasons. Number one, because there's a gray area. It's not just Arsenal this or Spurs this, it's both. My issue with first of all, let's start with Arsenal because Arsenal are defensively solid and they were gonna keep that clean sheet. And second of all, because Spurs are toothless. And I think people, and the reason why I say people I think are scapegoating Brennan Johnson is we all know Brennan Johnson is limited. We all know Brennan Johnson ain't that good anyway. We all know that Brennan Johnson is not amazing anyway. You get me? So it's not a shock. But who had a shocking performance from the players you expect to deliver? Maddison, no creativity whatsoever. Son was non-existent in the whole game. You expect these players to step up. I mean, no one sat here going like, wow, Brennan Johnson, what a fantastic player. We all know he's mid anyway. So who expects shit from him? That's like me blaming, I don't know who for Forest. I gave Mo Salah a 0 against Forest in my player ratings. Because he's the guy that
you expect
because there's expectation levels. Yeah, because you expect something from Maddison, you expect something from Son, and they didn't deliver. So for me, as soon as Gabriel scored, I'm like, guys, it's 1-0. It's all over, guys. Just give up. Just give up, because it's just
We do the only reason is just a slight pushback and big up to the comment in the chat that said this. The reason why I said it's high risk tactics is because it does rely on Tottenham to be rubbish in terms of the front and being in front of goal. You just think to yourself for a second, had Tottenham been a bit more proactive, Solanke maybe just getting that shot off instead of allowing the tackle to come in, Maddison getting the shot off before allowing the tackle to come in. Maybe. I'm just saying, just hypothetically, that's 2-1. That means that's 2-0. Your tactic isn't working. For me, in terms of the idea of what Postecoglou is trying to do, it is kind of working in a way. For Arsenal fans to say, look, that is the game plan. That's brilliant. I've never seen Arsenal back down to my club in my whole life. What we now need to do now is to build on that, which is now we got to start finishing off. We've got to start creating proper chances and start taking leads and then seeing what Arsenal do. It would have been very interesting on the weekend had Spurs taken the lead. I want to know if Arsenal would have come at us. I would have known if they would have left even bigger spaces in the gap, big spaces now, so that Tottenham could penetrate. Because I think the hardest part is they sat back, they got the lead, they stayed back, 11 men behind the ball, stunk out the place, and Tottenham couldn't break it down. But I'm saying, I give all plaudits. They did their job. That's what they needed to do. That was the game plan. But if you're going for the title, I just think that for me, giving up that kind of, turning up with that kind of play against your nearest and dearest shows me that there's a weakness within that.
But Deji, I hear your point, but you don't get style points. It's a results business. You mentioned it there. Yeah. If Spurs win the game, you know what we're sat here discussing? How Arsenal should have been more attacking and how they should have done more going forward. Let's say Spurs win the game 2-1 or win the game 1-0 and Gabriel misses that header and they don't create the chances. Guess what we're talking about? How Arsenal need to be more proactive, but you don't get style points. In these games, you don't get style points. It's about the result. And Arsenal we all knew what Arsenal were going to do. If anyone thought before the game that Arsenal with the players that they had missing were going to go there and play, get on the ball, dominate, have 60, 65%, 70% possession, it was never going to happen. We all knew the game plan, what they was going to do. And they're defensively better than they are offensively. So they're not going to go. Because even if, let's say they flip it, let's say they go there in the offensive and they dominate possession, but you lot win the game. You know what everyone's talking about? Why were Arsenal so gung-ho? Why were Arsenal so offensive? They should have been more defensive. It's legit.
I heard it all year last year, Mike.
It's a risk. Yeah, we say it about Klopp at times. We like, Klopp, sometimes you need to sit in and be a little bit more defensive because people look at the results. Yes, obviously context matters on a game-by-game basis, but they were well worth their win. Their game plan worked to a T, and you have to credit Arteta and Arsenal for that.
Yeah, no, I do. And that's what brings me nicely to the second question, which is what do I think of Ange? And, you know, prior to the game, I was a big supporter. I'm not going to lie, having lost the game now, I've got real serious questions. Not questions about the style of play, but questions about the personnel. For me, Romero's an issue. What are you going to do about Romero? For me, Brennan Johnson shouldn't start. Just like we know Trossard can't start for Arsenal. Every time Trossard starts, he does nothing. So he's an impact player. Why isn't Brennan Johnson afforded the opportunity to be an impact player? Then he brought on Timo Werner. What the hell was that? We know that this brother can't do anything. If you're going to bring on Timo Werner, I might as well bring my mum, to be honest with you, because absolutely nothing is going to happen on that left-hand side. I mean, he's that rubbish. And I just couldn't understand. And then you're bringing on, I couldn't understand where we're trying to win the game. We've got Bergvall, who is supposedly our option, our replacement for Madders. And instead of bringing someone who can potentially slot a ball into Kulusevski, slot a ball into Solanke, we brought on Pape Sarr, who's running around like a headless chicken. What's that going to do at 1-0 down? Who's going to be on the pitch to unlock that defense? So for me, tactically, I just think personnel-wise, subs-wise, he got it wrong. And I've given Ange 3 games, unfortunately. I do say if it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me, which is that if Arsenal could allow Arteta to finish 8th in his second season, then who am I to say that Ange should only have 3 games? But I can't lie to you, sitting here and watching my team lose week after week, it's not fun. And I don't know how long I can put up with it. So I've given him tomorrow, I've given him Brentford this weekend, and Man United. If he can't slap up them 3 dusty teams, then he should.
Well, he's got to win all 3. Wait, he's got to win all 3 on your turn.
He's got to win all 3. Brentford, we should be good. We should be strong enough to beat them. No disrespect, Lawless. Me and your family, but I think you would agree that you're not expecting anything against my club, even under Eric Ten Hag. Especially
I think it's got draw written all over it. I'm not gonna lie. We mirror matches. Let's not do that.
So I expect to slap you, man, up real quick, and then we got to be a Coventry. If we don't do that, he needs to get out. I can't lie.
So you might get to the level where you're like Ange Out and stuff, because some people are already Ange Out. They aren't waiting. Some people already have turned.
They're not waiting. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're not waiting because of the process. But I think even within the process, we have to see more positive than what we're seeing. You know, I don't mind win-loss. You can kind of buy yourself some time. I think having 2 defeats like this in a row with our, you know, it doesn't look good. And I think in the Premier League, you know, we're already talking about, you know, if Arsenal don't get the win, City are already running away. I'm saying if Tottenham don't get the win, top 4 is out the window. You know, we are hoping for top 4 this season. Lose a third time in 5 games, third time in 6 games is a disgrace. That means
where did you let me ask you, where did you have Spurs at before the start of the season? Where did you predict yourselves to finish?
I predicted Spurs, if everything had gone according to plan, to finish top 3.
That's mad.
This guy is Wait, what was the plan? What was the plan? Wait, forget the plan.
Everyone to get loads of injuries.
To start scoring and to tighten up our defense.
Yeah, so once the window had closed and you had the squad that you had, so the window was closed.
On that day, bro,
when did you think he was going to finish?
On a level though, let's jokes aside. Tottenham have improved. They're dominating more. And they're reducing the chances. The difference is we are just being punished. You know, the one chance teams are getting.
You can't keep clean sheets at all. Yeah, that's your problem.
But
your attack's not good.
So, but generally speaking, we are a stronger team than we were last season. And if we're a stronger team than we were last season, we should be finishing top 3, in my opinion. And the only reason why is because I don't trust Slot. And I've been saying that. I think the last time I saw you, I said that. I said Slot is a madman. That Liverpool team is great, but I don't trust any managers that come out of the Eredivisie. And lo and behold, we saw what the madman is capable of against Nottingham Forest. So for me, as long as Slot keeps doing them crazy things, there's still hope that Spurs can finish above Liverpool.
You know where I predicted
Spurs ain't
Spurs
stronger this year, by the way. Spurs are not
Yeah,
stronger.
you know where I
this season.
predicted Spurs to finish this season? I predicted Spurs to finish ninth. I said,
Really?
I had them 6. I didn't have them 9th. I had them
you know, I actually had
Five
Spurs
is a bit
below
too-
Brighton.
Or 8th.
7
I think you know what it is. I think this transfer window that they had is like self-sabotage. Archie Gray, Bergval, Solanke. Solanke, I'm not gonna say shit because he might come good. So let's push him to the side. But the other two, the amount of money they spent on Archie Gray and Bergval, I think if all 4 of us got in a room and had a round table and had names off a paper from scouts, we would have had a better transfer window. I would have went got Manu Kone. I genuinely could have spent that money better for Spurs than the way that they've spent it, because that transfer window was horrendous. Getting Timo Werner. If Ange came to me and said, I want Timo Werner, I'd have slapped him in the office. I'd have been like, fuck off out my room, we're not getting Timo Werner.
It's true. It's true.
This is the reality. This transfer window has not been good enough for Spurs.
No,
I look at Liverpool and look, you are right, because Slot is a new manager, but we still have the 4 horsemen in Mo, Alisson, Van Dijk, and Trent. That will win me 50, 60 points a season.
As long as he manages them well, you guys should do what you do. But you know, the thing I kept saying about Liverpool is if Slot gets creative, and I think on the weekend against Nottingham Forest, he was creative, and
there was no creativity whatsoever.
You know what I'm saying? But you know what I mean, like in terms of how he set you guys up. And so, Franz, your mum's a wanker, mate. You know what I mean? Your mum, mate, your family members. So, you know, that's what it is.
What's time out any personal insults, please?
Facts,
Yeah,
no
you know what? I was going to
personal
ask you, Husam, because I've been seeing some personal insults. I don't mind dishing them as long as they can take them. Do you get what I'm saying? But your mum, yeah, Franz, your mum. So, yeah. So,
hey, listen, if someone insults you, you can say whatever the hell you want back. But I know the mods are on it. But the problem is it shows on StreamYard. That's the issue.
Yeah. But yeah, no. So that is it. As long as Slot doesn't get too creative, Liverpool will be fine. As soon as he does, and he starts to kind of implement his style of play, bring in these players a bit more, taking it away from what Klopp used to do, I think you guys could be in serious trouble. That's what I'm saying.
You see, and let me ask you, Deji, because last time we had spoke as well, you had mentioned about Spurs, and was it 2027 or 2028? You were saying you have the best youth players coming through, so is it still roll to 2028, even if Ange leaves?
If Ange can get through this next 2 weeks, this period, then I said there's a 5-year plan.
Yeah, you did say
as long as he finishes top 4, I see Spurs doing one better than the previous season, which means that by 27-28, we're winning the league. And to be honest, bro, Lawless, I'm following the trajectory of Arsenal. Yeah, I'm following the trajectory of Arsenal.
Arsenal ain't winning the league. Let me just say that.
But they are close. They're
close.
Close
is all well and good. They ain't winning the league. Deji, you don't think they're winning the league, Deji. You don't think they're winning the league.
Anyway, look. Let me stop this right. Let me pause this. Listen, this is perfect segue to get to Arsenal. Let me just read a couple of these super chats and then we'll head to Arsenal, because I'm loving this energy right here, because you know, me and Giuseppe, I think, have the same thing regarding Arsenal. But anyway, big up to everyone in the chat. There's 750 people watching us. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Deji Spurs is in the description. Go subscribe. Sarcasm City TV is in the description. Go subscribe. Sicilian Gunner TV is in the description. Go subscribe to all 3 of these guys as well, because this has been one hell of a stream. Guys, like the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. We want to keep pushing to 36K. Big up my guy Navi, who says Spurs fans are all suffering Stockholm syndrome. Spurs are not even on Arsenal's level, but their fans will never stop banging on about it. I mean, to be fair, it was proven this weekend. This is 3 wins in a row, is it?
I mean, look,
at the Lane.
The only thing I would say to Arsenal fans is they were in my shoes 3 or 4 years ago. Second season, they were huffing and puffing, get Arteta out. Edu stuck in there, not the Arsenal fan base. Edu, yeah, and maybe Giuseppe. And now look, they showed progress and improved. I can't start shaking my bum violently in the beginning of the second season. He could still turn it around. What I'm saying is he needs to turn it around now. You know what I mean? Like, time is running out. So if he's gonna do it, do it. And he could go on a run. Like I said to you, people are getting less shots at our goal. Lapses in concentrations needs to stop. We need 90%, 90 minutes of concentration. And then we need Solanke to start banging. That's not an impossible thing for us to be able to achieve. I do agree with you, Husam. The signings were underwhelming of a club of our stature. But if the potential in those young boys that we brought in pull through, Bergvall could be the next Madders, but 2.0.
Yeah, but your squad is not good enough to handle Europa League and Premier League as well at the same time.
I don't think we give a damn.
You don't, but you know Angel. You know he's gonna go start.
I'm not sure.
You don't give a damn about the Europa League. You don't.
I think the Europa League, but I don't think he gives a damn about the Carabao.
I promise you, first Europa League game, he's going all out starters.
You don't think he gives a damn about a Carabao Cup? Oh yeah.
I'll have any bet you want.
I think he's gonna look. The measure of whether a Tottenham consider a competition serious is just look at their starting lineup.
Yeah,
That's
and I
crazy.
think you're going to go starters in the first game, but we shall see.
He's not.
Sorry. Deji's so entertaining yet so delusional. Literally didn't count Arteta's FA Cup last night, yet counts the 8 on that season. Which one is it? To be fair, he did win an FA Cup. So, you know, maybe if Ange wins an FA Cup, I'll be honest with you, if Ange wins Spurs any trophy, just give him a statue. Because at that point, he's done what Mourinho and Conte could. You know, prime Conte, prime Mourinho, and they couldn't win shit. So just give him a statue at this point. Ange has 28 years of managerial experience compared to Arteta's 5, but it's acceptable to finish 8th after finishing 5th and bottling top 4 the previous year. This refers to Arsenal. I don't even think this is Ange.
I don't
know. What it means is we finished 8th, right, under Arteta, but like the thing is, he only ever progressed. This is what Spurs fans ain't realizing when they're saying about our 8. He only progressed every season. People say 2 8th places, one was half a season, right? And okay, he finished 8th, then he finished 8th, but then it was 5th, then it was up and up and up. What the problem was for Spurs, and I did actually say it to my pals last year, they overachieved last year because at the start of the season, they went on that fantastic run because people were a bit shocked by Ange's system. Then he got clocked, and now they're going to fall back a bit. Before going forward, they're going to fall back. Now the problem is when you finished 5th last year and should have really finished 4th, but bottled it, to be honest. Yeah. Now, when you finish 8th, it looks even worse because if you finish 8th and then 6th, you're like, okay, he's getting better. When you finish 5th and then 8th, you're like, brother, this guy's getting worse. And
but let's see where we finish. I think it's too premature.
Yeah. I've said anyway, if I was Spurs, you don't sack Ange until the end of the season. You don't sack him mid-season, regardless of how you're doing.
Yeah, I agree. You know what it is? I defend Ange. I defended Ange because in my people say he's stubborn and blah, blah, blah. My thing is, listen, it's the people upstairs that have ruined Tottenham Hotspur. That's just the reality of the situation. Whoever the hell is choosing to spend the money on these players, Daniel Levy, all these guys, we already know the stories. You get me? Even me as a Liverpool fan, I'm not even invested in Tottenham. They're not even my rival, and I know this type of stuff. Ainge with poor talent ID and a refusal to change from the high line reminds me of a certain someone. You motherfucker. You keep disrespecting Jurgen Klopp when Jurgen Klopp won you the only Premier League title you saw in your life. Have some shame and decorum, honestly. Don't compare anyone to Klopp. Klopp is just the only guy better than Klopp currently in world football is Pep Guardiola and Ancelotti. That's it. Why does everyone waffle, bro? Like even the biggest rivals, even the flawless who supports Man United will tell you it's probably Pep, Ancelotti, and then Klopp. Like who the fuck else is in the like? Let's not sit up here and act like Klopp is equal to anyone else as well. Like okay, maybe Ancelotti and Pep are the A star, but Klopp is at least A plus. Like a tier below. But don't go
he's in
over
the A bracket. Yeah, he's definitely in the A
time
bracket.
for some Ryan Gravenberch and defensively sound. Yeah, how did that work on Saturday, Ryan? You hid for 24 hours from me. I can't push you. Nwaneri more North London derby wins than matters. I can't lie to you, Madison.
That's crazy.
Madison, there will be an investigation this season because it's all good and well doing this and doing interviews, but when the football starts, you have to step up, and you didn't step up. Big up to you, Triam. Big up, Mandem. Primetime Don with Goat Deji, aka Spurs subjugation and misconception of perception. Banter aside, Big Ange will get it good. Come on, you gooners, is what Nick says. I agree. I think Ange has shown in a sample size, even though it's small, that he can turn it around. I think he just needs the support from the people upstairs, and he needs better decision makers and better scouts, in my opinion. Big up to you, Nick. Big up to Ed, who says, Husam, for my birthday, please ban this guy for a day.
Let's talk about right.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Let me scroll up to his comment right now. Let me scroll up to his comment. I'm going to time him out.
Talk about Ryan.
I'll go find his comment, and I'll time him out for 2 hours. So you don't see his comments this whole stream. You get me? Big up to you, Ed. Big up to everyone in the chat. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's subscribe to the channel. Big up to everyone who's showing us love and support. And next topic, of course, is Arsenal, because the guys have already been dancing around the topic. You get me? So we might as well just go ahead. Just unpack this whole Arsenal situation. Giuseppe, you've heard the Deji criticisms about your club and stuff. Where do you sit with this whole Arsenal convo?
I don't think there should be any criticism this weekend. I think there should be plaudits only for Arsenal this weekend. Because I'm sorry, the question marks are all around. These guys have lost 2, and I feel like rivals actually don't understand. Like not you guys maybe, but a lot of rivals don't understand how important Martin Odegaard and Declan Rice is for our team and how we play football, especially Martin Odegaard. Yeah, when we're talking about controlling games and moving the ball, it all runs through him. Yeah, he's the conductor of the team. So to lose him and then to lose Declan Rice in the same breath and to be away at the North London derby, walking away from that with 3 points deserves plaudits. It don't deserve anyone to be saying anything negative about Arsenal, because what it shows is Arteta can do it with big injuries in big games. That is a big game to have big injuries in and still come out with the 3 points. So if anything, it actually should make people think, oh man, maybe Arsenal do have a chance of winning this league if they don't believe Arsenal do. I personally think we still win the league. I've put my neck out and I'll stay with chest until I see different. But for me, Man City, the reason I think we win the league this year is because of our defense. Because unless Haaland, of course, carries on this insane goal-scoring run that he is on, I see us winning the league. Yeah, at the end of the day, beating City, no one's guaranteed that, and it takes a monumental effort to beat this Man City, as you know, Husam. To beat this Man City team, you have to be perfect. You have to be looking at barely losing games, and we still haven't lost. Now we'll see better after this City game. But the good thing about this season is these hard games that we're having at the start of the season gives me mad confidence for this year. Definitely how we're moving through them, because at the end of the day, we've gone through Aston Villa away, Spurs away, and we're going to have gone through City away already right at the start of the season. Last 2 seasons where we've been competing with Man City, we've had that bloody Man City away game right near the end of the season, when it's like, you've got to win this. If you lose this, then they're catching you and and that big pressure, comes to the team. So I think us having that game early this season is great. So I think that we can go on and win the league. I see TK saying, talk about the boy Timber. Yeah, Timber's a baller, mate. Yeah, I told people last season I didn't need him to play for Arsenal, but I understand why people were saying, Timber, like, he hasn't played for Arsenal yet, you can't really use it.
You did need him to play for Arsenal because he's very good.
Yeah, no, it's in that sense of to be able to say how good he is. People are like, he hasn't played for Arsenal yet, so you can't talk like that. But I knew how good he was. I knew how good. And this guy, I'm telling you, last season...
I'm not sure we've seen him yet.
I feel like I personally stay on the hill. This guy didn't get injured all of last season. There was a good chance we win the Premier League last season, because I'm not going to lie, our weak link in a lot of games that we dropped points was the left-back position. And you see against Spurs, you see against... Brighton, you saw against Aston Villa this season that he was locking down that side. I don't care what people say. Bailey, when we played Aston Villa, got nothing down that side. If Zinchenko was playing there, we would have been getting ripped there. Yeah, Brennan Johnson he's crap, so fair enough. But like, even that game, the way he bought it, you could see he knew what North London derbies are about in that game. Yeah, people were saying he should have got sent off. People that think he should have got sent off, stop watching football. You never should be sent off. I am a believer that that's not even a yellow card. People will argue with me. I don't care. I'll argue till the day it's gone.
Giuseppe,
yeah. I don't think it's a yellow card. It is in the game of football.
Wait, which one was this?
The Timber one. The Timber one, yeah.
Which Timber one?
Yeah, which Timber challenge?
The Spurs one.
So you don't think it's a what?
That's not even a yellow? Have some shame.
No, bro. Listen.
Oh, you talking about when he? Oh, you talking about where he kind of went over the ball?
That's definitely a yellow.
Not in the rules of football. Maybe it's a yellow. I don't believe that should be a yellow card. He got to the ball
It's
first.
yellow all
He's
day
touched
long,
the
bro.
ball, and the guys come in with the tackle.
He
and
should have
he's
got
kinda
sent off.
him.
The
Nah,
thing
he
is,
shouldn't have got sent off.
bro,
And
you know,
regardless,
like
yeah.
because there was a bit where he
Oh,
was
there we
holding
go.
Brennan Johnson beforehand. I actually thought he had got a yellow. He didn't get a yellow. That could have easily have been a yellow. That what he did to Porro is a yellow card offense, bro. I'm not saying it's red. It's a yellow card all day long. He could have been off. And just so you know how much respect, and we didn't even want to take it to the dark arts. Shiver me timbers pull on Brennan Johnson in the box should have been a pen. No one talks about it because we said, you know what, we lost the game and let's not be shameless. But if you're being real, and I know you are, Giuseppe, you know that could have easily have been given as a pen.
I don't think it could have. I don't know what pens should be given for now. I don't think these little stupid things are pens, but that's me. The yellow card thing as well, what I'd say is, you say the dark arts, but that didn't even hurt Pedro Porro, mate. He was on the floor screaming, trying to get my man sent off. Because you see that he went a bit over the ball and he
Did you
touched
see
him.
Timber holding Vicario as well? Like this?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that shit.
Yeah, listen.
You know, I was when I was watching, I was like, can we get a fight? I was really hyped. I really thought there would be
I'll be
punches
honest,
thrown.
that scared me because I was like, these motherfuckers in VAR, yeah, are gonna send Timber off for the shirt grab. They're gonna say to him like he should be sent off for it. Even though Vicario shouldn't even have gone and got in his face. I think for me, them sort of things you need to let slide in derbies. Like this is why I don't believe in this whole following the letter of the law by a T, because I think certain games you've got to let certain things go. Little pushing and shoving and that. I don't think Vicario should have got yellow carded for that thing with Timber. I don't think either. I think in a derby game when it's getting heated like that, you let that stuff go and you just let the game sort of, as long as it don't get stupid, you let it go. And that kind of diffused quick, to be honest, compared to other derbies. But yeah, listen, Arsenal for this season, I think we can win the league. I don't see why we can't, apart from City being...
I think Arsenal will win the league.
I think we will as well. I said it as well. Well, people sort of clipped me and took it out of context when I said I think we'll win the league comfortably. By that, I meant I think we'll win the league before the last game of the season. That don't mean we're going to like smash City by like win it by like 10 points. I just mean it won't be the last game of the season we win the league.
This is what happens when you're in the big leagues, Giuseppe.
Yeah. I know. So for me, I think we win
Get
the
used
league.
to it. You're going to get clipped a lot this season. So get used to that shit right now.
I think our defense, man, like that's why I go into every game with a high level, with a certain level of confidence now because of the defense. And I grew up knowing defense wins you leagues. Defense is what wins you stuff, because you can have a poor game and get a win or get a good point because of your defense. Attack, it doesn't matter. Attack could be balling out, but if your defense is crap and you concede 3 goals, it doesn't matter that you score 3. It doesn't matter that you score 3 if you concede 4. Whereas if you concede 0 goals, you're automatically getting a point. And Arsenal's clean sheet record away from home is insane. The last 11 games, we've conceded 3 goals and kept clean sheets in all 11 games. Won all 11 games and kept clean sheets in, is it 9 of them or 8 of them? I think 9 clean sheets and then 3 goals conceded. And we've had City away in there. We've had Spurs away in there. We've had, I think, have we had United away in there? Yeah, we have had United away in there. So these stats are what gives me confidence this season. Because at the end of the day, if we can do that away from home and keep our away from home and keep our home form the way it should be, any team's home form should be, then we go on and win the league. I think that Man City do have slip-ups in them. Right now, I get what people are saying, and I understand why people don't think so, because City have started the league on fire because of this Haaland guy. But it's because of this Haaland guy. Like
So they just Haaland FC, yeah?
Right? No, they're not. Of course not. They've got...
I was just asking.
No, they're not.
Can I give you my unpopular opinion? Haaland is not scoring Sunday.
I don't think that's unpopular.
That's my unpopular opinion.
I don't think it's. I don't think.
You know why Arsenal don't employ Ethan Pinnock?
I don't think
Arsenal employs Saliba and Gabriel. Haaland is not scoring. Arsenal are keeping a clean sheet at the Etihad. Mark my word, it's gonna happen. If you shit house a 1-0, it's so funny the energy shift from everyone compared to after the Brighton game. Me, I stand on business. I've had to hear 2 weeks of waffle of my fan base telling me how we're better than Arsenal. We're not. But I stand on business. I said Arsenal are going to win the league. I fully believe it. I'm not twerking. I'm not doing this for views. I actually believe it genuinely because of their defense. Their defense is so good. The way people say Arteta copies Pep. Arteta does not copying Pep at all. Arteta is copying Simeone, if anything. Arteta is copying Tony Pulis, if anything. He's just going all out defending, and it's so obvious what he's trying to do. My thing is, as soon as Arsenal score 1 goal, essentially they lock it up. And that's it. Khalas, sit back. Yalla, go ahead. Try to score, Habibi. Good luck. It's just, this never happens. It just never happens because they're always defending really well for me. And I think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet at the end, and I think they'll win the league.
I think that they will come close to winning the league if they can keep Saliba and Gabriel fit like last season. I think Arsenal were fortunate that they didn't suffer any injuries. I think Arsenal would be fortunate again, not wishing bad upon them, that they don't suffer any injuries this season. I do hear your point. I just think that, I don't know, something still feels missing. In terms of goal scoring, are they going to be able to score goals, break down teams? I don't... I've looked at Arsenal in their first 4 games, put the Tottenham game aside. They were not great against Villa. They were not great. Villa on another day could have won that game. The Brighton game could have easily went left. And even Wolves, that game, there were moments where it got a little bit ropey. So for me, I'm yet to be convinced by Arsenal, unless this is what Arsenal's doing this season, where you're not going to look good, but you're going to get results. I just don't know how long they're going to be able to keep that up, because sooner or later, as you know in the Prem, you get found out and then you get punished.
Arteta last season done the same thing. We started slow and we're getting results. The only thing is last season we weren't getting as many results at the start of the season, but we started slow and then we picked up as the season went on. By the way, we've still not seen any of our signings feature. Like, I know it's not, we didn't have the great window. I'm a firm believer we had like a 4 out of 10 window. I wasn't happy at all. I think we needed a striker personally, but I think Mikel Moreno brings a lot to the team and the way we're going to be playing attackingly, a lot more than people think he's going to be for our team. I think when he comes in, it's going to be a huge shift in how we play. I think that when Sterling gets going, I think he'll be a great addition to the squad. I know people hate on Sterling, yeah, but I think that's the Chelsea.
I can't lie to you. You can't do Sterling prop after his cameo this Sunday. You have to wait on that one still.
No, yeah, I 100%. But the thing
that's
is,
what I'm saying. I think it depends what Sterling you get. If you get you could get a really good Sterling, or you could get a really sneaky Sterling.
You know, what Sterling to get, man. They not win. Like, Arsenal are not winning the league. Arsenal are an incredible team defensively. Yes, Arsenal are an incredible team defensively. But Giuseppe mentioned it. Arsenal fans were crying out for it all summer long about needing a striker. Look at any team that's won the Premier League who's had an incredible defense. You know what? They also had an incredible attack. Arsenal don't have that. This is why they were screaming for a striker. No team that's Kai Havertz is leading the line is winning the Premier League. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Let's stop this.
100%.
Look at their central midfield options. Moreno may be the guy, but when you look at teams that have won the Premier League, in central midfield, you have at least one midfielder who is a cut above. So let's say Moreno is good. I rate Rice. I think he's a good central midfielder, as is Odegaard. None of them are nothing special. That's where Arsenal are lacking. This is why Arsenal won't win the league. And this happened last year. I said this last year. I said it the year before. They're not better than Manchester City. And Arsenal will not win the league. Will they run them close? Yes. Are Arsenal the second best team in the league? Yes. Are they an incredible defensive team? Also, yes. But eventually,
do you think this all changes?
Can I go one step further?
If who gets injured? If who?
Haaland, because they don't.
No, it's Haaland. No, I don't think Haaland was injured last season.
Yeah, but they had Alvarez. Now there's no more Alvarez.
Yeah, all right, but they've got Gundogan back and Sav. It's Savinho. City are a better team.
Can I go one
step
step
this
further?
season than last season. They're a better team on paper. They got Savinho, who adds to them out wide, and they brought back Gundogan. Why do we always do this with City? I hate the fact I'm the one to say this. We always do this with Manchester City. They're the best team.
This
in the
is
league
not
with the
bad.
best
So,
manager.
but people can predict City to not win a league title. That's not that.
To me, that's
Can
crazy.
Can we go one step further?
I don't think they're better than. I don't think Arsenal are better than them. What Arsenal apart from defense? What the Arsenal have that's better?
Yeah,
than
but that's the
Manchester
reason
City?
why I think they're winning the league. Defense.
So midfield, attack, and so wait, the midfield, the attack, and the manager
I
just don't
agree
matter.
with Flawless.
Cool, like, what we doing out here, man? Like, midfield, attack, and goal and manager don't matter.
Not all that glitters.
I'll tell you what
shines
I
gold.
think, but I'll let Deji go first.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Go.
not all that glitters shines gold. I agree with Flawless. I think I came out to say last week when Arsenal extended Arteta's contract by an extra 3 years. That Arsenal fans faced the real possibility that over an 8-year tenure, that they only have an FA Cup to show for it. I actually don't see Arsenal winning any more trophies between now and the next 3 years. I think they're going to play great football. I agree with Flawless. I think they're going to come close. Arsenal are not interested in the Carabao Cup, so don't lie to yourselves. They're not interested in that. And I don't think Arsenal are interested in the FA Cup. They've already done that. And I don't think Arsenal fans really want it. What they're looking for is the big prizes. They're looking for the League or Champions League. And they just don't have what it takes. Flawless has said it. You don't have the firepower to get the job done. So I expect Arsenal to finish second this season without a trophy. And I expect you to do the same next year, because that's what you've shown us. And that's why I've gone out to say publicly, Arsenal are more Spursy than Spurs, meaning that you knew what you needed to bring in and you didn't bring them in.
He's right.
You didn't.
Everyone
That
knew
is
what Arsenal
Spursy,
needed.
no?
Everyone knew what they need. A central midfielder, a centre forward. You can add in a left winger as well. Moreno, Sterling, and nobody was not the answer. Nobody was looking at those. Everyone knew what they
I
needed.
personally
One thing I'll
taken
say-
Calafiori and Moreno.
The one thing I'll say is people can't really judge our signings yet, because everyone judged Ben White when we signed him. Everyone judged half these players when they signed them, and then they come good and they come a lot better than anyone thought they'd ever be. So that's why I say hasty on people judging, not you guys, but people judging Moreno and even Sterling for us. Like, people say that cameo, it was 10 minutes at the end of a game where we were just seeing it out. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm not really gonna, when he hasn't really played much football under Chelsea for the last few weeks or months, and he ain't even probably been training with them properly because the way they've been. So, like, listen, So we've been like, listen, we should have bought in a striker. I hear it. Yeah, we should have bought in a striker, in my opinion. Can we get to maybe a January and bring in another attacker? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But the thing is, we don't need.
You can have Nunes if you want. I know you were linked to him at the end of the window.
Nah.
You know, I celebrated.
Yeah,
I'm announcing this right now. If Arsenal sign Nunes,
like Nunes, you know, it's just.
I'm gonna sing. Oh, you can have him too if you want. I'm
I
down
will
with
take
that,
him.
brother. You can have him.
Crazy.
I give you a swap deal. Give me Son, and you can have Nunes. Swap deal straight. You get me. Nunes is 10 years younger. You can have him. He will never score as many goals as Son in the English Premier League. You get me, so I'm safe. all them through balls that Mo Salah plays now land at Son's feet. Okay, now we're a serious team again. I'm good with that. You can have Nunez, Giuseppe. You can have him as well if you want to. You get me. So yeah, that should be fun. Before we just carry on, I know Deji has to go now, so big up to you, Deji. Thanks so much for joining us. Big up to you, guys. Deji's Spurs is in the description. I want Deji to go gain 50, 60 subs right now. Everyone who hasn't subscribed to Deji, please go subscribe to his channel right now. It's in the description. One of the mods, post the link in the chat as well. Please post the link in the chat. So right now, please go subscribe to his channel. Big up to you, Deji. Fantastic debut on the first time.
Big up, Deji, man.
Love. Big up to you. I'm putting myself bottom row because I lost in it. It's I have to keep the same energy. So let me read a couple of these super chats. Big up to JJ. Who said, actually, before we read the super chats, flawless. Because Deji obviously was saying what he had to say.
Yeah.
Here's my thing on the whole Arsenal situation. Look, I hear where you're coming from. And even when I'm giving out percentages, I'll tell you the percentage I gave before the season started. I said 50% City win the league, 40% Arsenal win the league, 10% Liverpool win the league. I give my club the lowest percentage. Us, it's like if Arsenal and City fall off, we're gonna be there in it. Just that type of thing. But with Arsenal and with the City situation, I think we are looking at two completely different teams. I'm looking at the team with Man City who dominates possession, who dominates opposition, scores goals, and I'm looking at the team who has the complete 180 degrees opposite approach, which is defend. Now, when you look at their defensive depth, it's mad. Timber, Ben White, Calafiori, Saliba, Gabriel, even Zinchenko could come in if they're playing a shit side. Like, let's not be disingenuous here. Like, they could use
like a Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, they're playing Ipswich. Like, no, there was no need. They're playing Ipswich at home. You get me? They can play Zinchenko in it. So it's not like they always have to go thingy. And the thing that I look at Spurs is, I got to the level where when I was doing the watch along, I was like, Gabriel scored. I was like, guys, it's over. because I just know the Arsenal defense is so strong. So when I say Arsenal are going to win in the league, I'm basing it, and you might call this crazy, but I really am basing it like 90% on their defense. Honestly,
Yeah,
what I believe.
which I get. That's why, and you'll never hear me dispute about Arsenal from a defensive standpoint. I'm in agreement with you. I thought they would win that game, and as it was going on, and as Gabriel scored, I said, yeah, they're not scoring. As much as Spurs are limited going forward,
Exactly.
Arsenal are very, very good defense. Best defensive team in the league, without
Flawless.
doubt. There's no doubts. Yeah, go on.
Flawless, bro.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: if we
Yeah.
go to the Etihad and we defended the way we do, and we get away with a 1-0 win, do you change your mind?
No.
Right,
Even though that's
Even if they win at the Etihad, that's
even
mad.
if they win, because there's still 33 games to play. There's still
I
over
hear it.
90 points to go. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
as good as Arsenal are, which they are, in the reverse fixture, if someone said City are going to go to the Emirates and win 1-0, I'm not going to argue you down. Why are we acting like City can't go there and do exactly what Arsenal could do? Now, can Arsenal go to the Etihad and win? Are they set up to go and win 1-0? Is that the game plan? Yes. Are they capable of doing it? Also, yes. Do I personally think it happens? No.
Game of the year.
No. But like Arsenal, City can do the reverse.
So
No. I hear it because Flawless just thinks that. Yeah, Flawless just thinks that City are just so far superior. Ain't even an Arsenal disrespect thing.
No, I even know this. Yeah, people hear it. I'm glad you know that. It's not even this. This is against anyone. Me and Sam have spoken on this before.
To be fair,
when
Flawless,
in the
they're
chat
already
race.
calling you an Arsenal hater in the chat. So that
Yeah, of course they are. Sorry, you know what it is? It's the messenger. I get it. You don't like the fact that it's me, but it's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. I told you like this. Like for anyone who's watched me for any significant time, I told you like this last year. I told you like this the year before. Arsenal currently is constructed and not good enough to go and win the league. And your main problem is your manager. To be honest, that's your major issue. The biggest weakness, the biggest difference between the two teams is the manager. You go get an actual set, like Arteta's done a fantastic job at Arsenal. Much better than general consensus expected, much better than I expected him to be. However, to kick on, you lot need a better manager. You should have won these past 2 leagues, in my opinion. And the major reason, yeah, you'll blame Rob Holding, blame Zinchenko and things of that nature, but it's your manager at the end of the day. That's it to me. But yeah, call me an Arsenal hater. That's cool. And when you lot don't win the league, I'll be back here.
There you are.
Saying the same
Hey,
3
I'm not
seasons in a
invited,
row.
don't worry. I'm gonna get
Of
you.
course.
I'm gonna get Giuseppe on as well, so we can do this. You get big up to you. Anyway, listen, big up to all of you guys. Let me just do a couple of these super chats, guys. We're closing in on 300 likes. Let's get there. There's still 700 people watching us. Big up to everyone in the chat. The mine, you say you don't care what Pips say you lost. I have no idea what this means, JJ. You get me? Because I don't even think Google Translate can translate this.
I don't know what he's saying.
However,
I think he's saying to Deji about we don't care what you say you lost. Basically, I don't know what Pips is.
Yeah, I don't know what Pips says. I don't know what the mine you say means.
I'm confused now because certain people call me Pips as a like Pepino, like short, like my friends. So I don't even know. That's confusing me now. If it's something like that,
I think it's at Deji because he's saying
Deji.
we don't care what you say you lost. Because Deji was saying about style and how Arsenal need to do better, etc., etc. See, you lot weren't calling me an Arsenal hater when I was praising them about the derby, though, isn't it?
There
Yeah.
you are. There you are. Frauds. Every year is the same thing. Arsenal winning the league. Shaking my head. 4 years in a row, and we still don't get it. I hear where you're coming from, Marco. You get me? And I'm looking at your picture. I think you're either a City or a Chelsea fan. It's anyway your cousins, FFP Chargers brothers. But the thing is with what you're saying is, look, I'm looking at this Arsenal journey, and the destination only makes sense for it to be a league title. If City win the league, fair enough. I already give them a bigger percentage, but I've already explained myself. It's purely based on defense. That's honestly what I'll say.
Spot on there, Marco. 4 years in a row. And you know what's crazy is when City win the league again, we'll be having the same conversation next year. 2025, 26 be the same conversation.
Unless they're guilty. Hey.
Unless they're guilty, then that changes everything. But then again, they'll probably just get a big fine.
Yeah.
There you are. Tell him how many charges. Tell him. Big up to you, Pep. Haaland has scored only scored against one decent team this year, and yes, I said decent. Chelsea. You're calling Chelsea a decent side? That's worse than anything you've ever
Nah,
said.
Chelsea are a decent side. Don't
No,
worry,
they're
man. They're a
not.
decent.
No, they're not. Bournemouth literally dominated.
You just got hate for both of those two sides. You just don't like blue.
I don't have a hate for
Yeah, I'm
both
saying
of
you
these
just don't
sides.
like Chelsea and you don't like City, man. That's
So,
just what it
okay,
is.
did you watch Chelsea Bournemouth flawless? Did you watch
Yes,
that
I
game?
did.
Okay,
They were
did
good
you
against
honestly believe Chelsea had a good game?
Bournemouth. No, they didn't. They were poor
Okay,
against
see, so
Bournemouth.
it's not an agenda. It's a reality.
There's one game that's still, but that's just because they had that poor game doesn't
Yeah,
mean
and
they're
we're
not a
talking
decent
about
side
match
as
week
well.
4. What do you want me to talk about Chelsea from the start of history?
No, you
We're
can talk
talking
about them.
this week.
You can talk about them against City. You can talk about them against Palace. You can talk about them against Wolves.
Yeah,
You
against
talk about
City they were
those two.
crap. Against Palace they drew at home and
They
they
weren't crap against
scammed
City.
3 points from Bournemouth away. Evan Nilsson does have blood on his hands, Saman. Thank you very much. He has a lot of blood on his hand.
Yo,
Whale
that
blood.
picture's hilarious. Yo, that picture is hilarious.
He has blood on his-
Is that Saka?
It's Saka. That is hilarious. That picture, yo. That is brilliant.
Why you made
Hey,
Saka
so,
ball?
man, that is brilliant. Man's got Saka on the all eyes on
that
me
DMX?
cover.
Is that DMX?
Nah,
No, that's
Tupac. It's Tupac.
Tupac.
The all eyes on me cover. His album cover. That's crazy, man. Even got the bald head. That is exceptional Photoshop work. That is incredible.
It's actually cool. Frauds. It's crazy how one team won the league for 4 years straight, and we're sitting here saying Arsenal going to win the league. It's just for views, in my opinion. But here's the thing, Marco. This is what I have a problem with. I don't tell Flawless you're saying City are going to win the league for views. I don't tell someone who thinks Liverpool are going to win the league that it's for views. This whole for views thing, people need to get over it. People have different predictions, different opinions. I just said I predicted Spurs to come 9th. Am I doing that for views as well? I just said Brighton are going to finish 8th. You know who I put in my top 4, the 4th team?
What?
I said Newcastle because they got 1 game a week.
Oh,
That's
yeah, you did say Newcastle.
Not every opinion, guys, is for views. People need to understand something. We went from a world of which anything we say on YouTube that's not popular is now for views. Okay, Habibi, I actually genuinely believe Arsenal are going to win the league. That's my prediction. That's my right. And if I'm wrong, fair enough. You're right. Like, who gives a fuck? That doesn't mean it's for views. Arsenal's defense is really good. I'm basing my opinion based on the defense. I'm saying, okay, they're good defensively. They're gonna win the league. I'm allowed that opinion. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This whole for views thing is going over the top. Previously, you know, people used to say maybe 10 years ago, for views is when people ranted or raged or got angry. Now a prediction is for views. يا أخي, make it make sense. يا أخي. والله make it make sense. خلاص, I predict Arsenal to win the league. You predict City to win the league. Okay, who cares? Move on. We can disagree. عادي يعني. That's not North
Sam,
Korea.
we've got to all hold hands and dance in a circle
Yeah.
and just
Everyone
agree
has to
that
say
we're-
City or خلاص. It's for you. I mean, it's my opinion. Unbelievable. Serious.
This is crazy, Nick.
I'm not about to do this, Nick, because I work with all three. You cannot, I'm not about to do this. Sell, bench, start, Deji, Igal, Hamza. 1 second. Let me finish. Why isn't Judge Mo in it?
That's
Hit the likes.
crazy.
It's under 300. Yes. The
Hey,
last
sell
one-
Hamza. That's all I'm saying. That's my thoughts on it. Shout out to Deji, the gal, sell Hamza. Yeah, without doubt. Yeah, sell Hamza.
I can actually, I know exactly what Flawless would say. You'd say start Deji, bench, Igal, sell Hamza. I know you.
Probably, yeah. But I fucks with the Deji and the gal, and Hamza's cool, but yeah, he just, yeah. Just
I'd
a
agree.
walking
I'd
headache.
agree. I'd agree with that 3 as well. The reason I say big up a gal, he's an Arsenal brother, but he puts Arsenal factors. He puts us on a rope sometimes with some of the stuff. He gets the whole bench. Sometimes Deji makes it banter for Spurs, so like I'll have him start. You know.
Yeah.
If
Hamza big
Liverpool
up,
won, if it's a game week where Liverpool wins, start Hamza. If it's a game week where Liverpool lose, sell Hamza. That's just because you know what it is. When Hamza's cooking other clubs, I enjoy it. When he's cooking my club, I just feel like I want to give up. I want to delete channel. I want to go to YouTube Studio, channel delete. I just want to stop doing content, you know. So it depends, to be fair. But big up for the super chat, Nick. Connor says finish 2 points behind City, but we're not close to them. I know we don't have much depth, but if City lose Haaland and Rodri, I think we instantly become favorites. Works both ways.
You are,
you agree?
yeah, you are like Arsenal are not a million miles away. That is. I predicted them second. They're second in my prediction list. But to say if City lose Haaland and Rodri, cool. If Arsenal lose Saliba and Odegaard, you can easily do that.
Once again, I don't think there's.
But if this scenario does happen, would you then say Arsenal should win it?
If City lose what Haaland and Rodri for a significant period of time,
yeah. Let's say they lose them.
But even with Pep, he's a bald-headed demon. He'll figure something out. We'll figure something out.
Okay,
Like,
so essentially, I get what, guys. I
yeah,
actually
like
fully
Arsenal
understand what
should,
Flawless
but
is
then
saying.
I'm not bet.
His equalizer is Pep Guardiola. I get it.
Yeah,
Bro.
yeah. Like I've seen Pep do too much to the point where they've won 4 league titles in a row. What is it, 5 in 7 years or whatever? So 2 injuries and it's automatically, well, I'm just going to dismiss it. Like he don't have. It's not like they don't have other quality there. This thing like they're just Haaland FC is crazy. Like they don't have other quality. Rodri ain't played this season, and they quote unquote start slow.
I don't think there's any. This is the thing, yeah. There's no wrong in thinking, in my opinion, thinking Arsenal or City can win the league. I think that anyone saying that someone shouldn't think City should be favourites, yeah, like in a lot of people's views. Let's be honest, yeah. And I still agree now that they're favourites.
They're favourites in my views as well.
Yeah, but to think that, do you know what? Like even that views thing. All right, cool. Someone coming out and saying, "I think Spurs are going to win the league." You could be like, what the hell is this guy saying that for? Like, there's no evidence.
I get it. Okay, that one, fair enough.
But someone who's competed for the last 2 years, and not only that, but the competing from 2 seasons ago and then last season, there was an improvement. It was a step up. We went from bottling it to being like 2 points going to the last game of the season. So you can easily think that we can win the league this season, like in the sense of like as a prediction. That's never for views or anything.
Yeah, the prediction makes sense because of how close they were, and I hear it more so from Arsenal fans. I know Husam just don't like City, so I get it from that perspective.
No, it's not meant that, Flawless. Please don't do this.
You don't like you don't. No,
I don't like City. It's true. But I'm
two
not
things can be true. No, I know that's what I was about to say. 2 things can be true. Do I think you believe what you're saying? Yes. Are you doing it for views? In my opinion, absolutely not. You genuinely believe what you genuinely believe what you're saying, and you've backed it up with logical things. I'm just adding that into the mix. I understand where it's coming from you because of what you stated, and also not liking Manchester City. Same with Arsenal fans. If I was in that predicament, I'm probably predicting my team to win. So I get it, because you don't want to be like, we're gonna fall short again type of thing. Because when others say it, I'm like, they're favorites, as we've both stated. So I'm always gonna go with the favorites, but that's just me.
Fair enough. I want to ask Marco a genuine question before we get to the last section of the stream. Marco, if Liverpool signs Zubimendi, and let's say Ait Nouri as an example, and I said Liverpool will win the league, would you say it's for views or not? Let me know. Big up to Terence who says, big up the panel. Off topic, what happened to Foden? I don't know, is he injured or something?
He was injured, but I think he's back.
Should be back. Yeah. Can't lie to you guys, they're top of the league 4 wins in a row without playing Foden or Rodri. Yeah, there's going to be a long season, guys. Buckle up. Buckle up. All the thing we should pray, you get me, is that they get found guilty. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. 650 people are in the building. Make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Go subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. Go subscribe to Sicilian Gunner and subscribe to Deji's channel as well. Mods, keep pushing the likes. Let's get 350 likes, 400 likes ASAP. Final topic of the day. Manchester United with a shock away win at Southampton. 3-0. What do you make of this situation and everything that's happened regarding Rashford as well? And the reason why I brought up Rashford is not only because he scored, because of all the off-the-pitch drama that ensued after, which he referred to Man United, I think legends or players or whatever, or media as bullying him and stuff like this. Where do you sit with this whole United situation currently?
I don't even know that. If anyone in the comment section can actually pull up the quotes of what Rashford said, because I didn't know that he had referred and stated that the media and former players had been bullying him. Yes, you are playing for Man. Yes, Manchester. Yeah, shock away with his jokes. The most shocking, he scored 3 goals. But on the Marcus Rashford side of things, you're playing for Manchester United. Is some of the criticism going to be over the top? Yes. Do I believe as poor as Rashford has been for an extended period of time, as much as I've criticized him as well, is some of it, quote unquote, can I say crossing the line and be bullying? Yes, but you got to help yourself. That's the problem with Rashford. You got to help yourself. You've not helped yourself with your performances on the pitch, and you haven't helped yourself with your behavior off the pitch. And that's where the problem in lies. Like, all of this stops if you start performing just better on the football pitch. And when I say that, it's not even a skill thing. It's a lack of will. Like, I've watched you, and I know many people that go to the ground and watched you not try, have a legit lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? Not running behind, not trap back, not close down. Like, we've watched you do this over an extended period of time, and that's what annoys people. That's where people criticize you, and that's where some of the over the top of criticism is moved on. And the manager's not helped with Rashford anyway, playing him week in, week out, because Rashford just don't look right. I said this all last season. Rashford, forget football, he doesn't look happy. So if I can see that watching him for an hour and a half on the weekend, or sometimes in the midweek for an hour and a half, the manager is with him and the coaches are with him every single day in training. So why can you not see? Take him out the firing line. He shouldn't be starting right now. Yeah, he scored a good goal against Southampton, played decent. But yeah, in regards to it, that's pretty much my thoughts on it. Is like, yo, the criticism that you are getting is from you. Your form, your behavior off the pitch. Perform better. Behave better off the pitch. And then you'll receive less criticism. It really is that simple.
This is the exact article right here. Marcus Rashford believes Man United legends are bullying him, with dropped England star feeling criticism is an onslaught and beyond unfair amid his poor run of form. That's the exact
it is beyond that. It's not beyond unfair. Like I say, some of the criticism, yes, but from what I've seen, most of the legends and former players have actually backed you. A lot of the time, they've actually backed you and not really been over the top. More so social media and things of that nature, and fans are probably the ones who are giving you.
I don't remember the last time I've seen Gary Neville criticize Rashford.
Yeah, like they want him to do better, especially being the fact that he's from the youth academy, Mank born and bred, etc., etc. So, that's a strange one. Focusing on the wrong thing. Perform better on the pitch. I say this all the time. Performance shuts up 99.9% of any critics. If you are performing, you carry on scoring goals, carry on playing well. Watch the critics. Watch the critics go be more quiet. Because even when he said, was it last season? Because you can't have it both ways. Because he said it last season. There was a post he put out or a statement he put out talking about big up to all the people who backed me, and if you doubted me, even better. And then proceed and then went on to play even worse. So you can't give out statements saying that perform poorly and then say all the criticisms over the top. It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
And speaking of form, this is the important question here as well. Before we get Giuseppe's thoughts as well on the situation. First 4 games, you won 2, lost 2. Your next 3 games are you're playing Barnsley, you're playing Crystal Palace and Twente in the Europa League. Do you expect the next 3 games to all be wins, or do you again think shit we might fall here or fall there?
Yeah, you asking me that's a bad question. Barnsley, we should win tonight. Yes, we should win. I'm more interested in the lineup. I want to see wholesale changes. I'm not trying to see first teamers all in the lineup. Like if they're on the bench,
that's not gonna happen, buddy. That's not gonna happen.
What Ten Hag's like. Facts,
that's not gonna happen.
Facts. And then someone will get in, and then what's the crazy part is someone could get injured in the game, and then fans will complain about injuries and say, look, we can't play our way and we can't perform to a high level because of injuries. Palace away is going to be tough. I'm not guaranteeing a win away there. Palace away is going to be tough. 20 at home, we should win. Yes. So I'm looking at more so the 2 home games and seeing what's what, but you never know what you're going to get. We've already seen the mixed bag with Manchester United already, and we're a limited side in particular going forward. Only thing we've improved on from last season is defensively we've got better. But offensively,
the reason why I asked you that, Flawless, is low-key your games up until like mid-November, besides Tottenham at home, they're all really winnable fixtures up until you get to the Arsenal and the tough
Palace
run.
away, Brentford at home. I don't know about that. I think you're overestimating our level.
I'd say Brentford at home is a tough
Brentford did you not just see Brentford give City a game? Again, this is people overestimating us. United are not that good. And I've been saying, I said this all preseason long. I've said
Where
this.
did you predict your club to finish? Because I actually
Seventh.
Oh, fair enough. I said 6th, so we're not that far.
Yeah, because we can't, again, and I was having this debate on my platform, many platforms. We don't score goals. We don't create and we don't score. I've been saying this. You
don't think the introduction of Ugarte will change stuff for you? Because he did look really good against Southampton.
He will. Again, that's my point. Defensively, yes. Does he change us going forward? No. He's not that type of player. We've improved defensively because of the players we brought in. Love the window we've had. But because we were so far behind, we needed so much more. And with keeping this manager who's just clearly not good enough, we had to improve an attack. And Xerxes made a difference. Yes. But we needed more than just Xerxes. And we lost Sancho. And we were already short in that area anyway. We don't score goals. We scored 57 goals last season.
Xerxes
we scored
is so
58
good,
the season before.
More clinical. He does everything.
Yeah, he does.
Score the goal.
Yeah, he needs to be. He should have scored twice against Southampton, but we scored
57. And he should have scored against us as well.
Yeah, we scored 57 league goals last season and 58 the season before. Going forward is a problem, and we haven't addressed it, in my opinion. This is why I don't have us finishing higher. But defensively, like I said, with Mazraoui, with Dele, Ugarte, who you mentioned as well, Yoro will come into the side. We've already improved in that aspect.
When's he going to be back, Yoro?
I think they said, was it 3 months? So he'll probably be back. So it's over.
Oh, maybe
like
next
October.
month.
Yeah, probably October, because they said 3 months and he got injured
You
in
know for a
August.
fact he's pulling up with the first team. All the people who go like, oh, we're gonna see youngster X and youngster Y. You all know you ain't gonna see no damn youngster. It's gonna be the first 11. Let's just cut the crap, guys. You've seen Ten Hag. This is the third season of Ten Hag. You know, Sky. If you watch Ten Hag for only one season and be like, you know what, maybe you're wanting him to change or some shit, but it's been 3 years. At this point, you just expect the shit. Let's be serious.
Strong team.
I know. Obviously, I'm going to be watching Liverpool Milan. Like, I'm not going to be watching fucking United Barnsley. But I know for a fact we're going to be looking at that starting 11 as going to be all starters. Let's just cut the crap.
It's ridiculous. And then someone will get injured. Like, we didn't take off Maserati, Delit, Martinez as precautions away at Southampton type of thing. And I don't know. I'm looking at our fixtures. How are you talking about? Because we got Palace away, Spurs at home, Porto away, Villa away, Brentford at home, Fenerbahce away, West Ham away. That's all the way up until November. There's not an easy run. It's not an easy.
Okay, Barnsley you're beating. Crystal Palace is relatively an easy game. Twente is easy.
Wait. Slow down. Crystal Palace is not relatively an easy game for us. What are we talking about? No, it's not an Palace. You just said shock win at Southampton. And Palace, even though they haven't been at their best this season, are a better side than Southampton.
I need to remember you're the type of guy that remembers everything.
But like you can't try to Spurs at home.
It's gonna be something I'm gonna hear from not at the end of the year. I know this. It's just I know you always remember everything.
Spurs at home, not easy.
Spurs, we just watched Spurs. That's not a difficult fixture.
Spurs at home, they might not be that good, but again, people keep looking at the name and the badge. Manchester United are also not that good. We are not a great side. I hate again to be the messenger to people like Arsenal haters. I'm super honest about my own side. We are not that good. We are vastly overrated by the vast majority because of the name. In Manchester United name, look at the team and look at the manager.
I can't lie, Villa away is definitely going to be tough. So I hear
Of course, Villa away is
Porto away might be a little bit tough as well. I accept that.
That's definitely going to be tough. Porto away is going to be tough. Fenerbahce away is going to be tough. Brentford, we just seen what Brentford have been one of the better sides in the league so far this season. We just watched them play against Manchester City and weren't good. West Ham away, they always give us a game. Chelsea at home, all right, we'll see what happens there. Then the rest of November, that's where it becomes more favorable. In November. See, Sunshine knows United fan. We don't score like that. It's a shock we scored 3 goals against Southampton. We don't score.
I'll be honest with you, there is a lot expected of Garnacho and Rashford this season because people are just like, you have to deliver at this point. It's just doing
and people asking them to do things they can't do. Limited players.
I think
they're limited. Yeah, go on.
And United, it's going to be interesting with United now because I do want to see what happens when Højlund comes back. Because I'll be honest, in pre-season with Højlund, you looked actually all right. And I want to know what it's going to be like when he comes back for you lot. I want to also see now Rashford's maybe scored and got that thing off his the monkey off his back, and he's got a goal. He can now maybe go and push on and get more goals. The problem is the Rashford situation. Yeah, it's so funny because watching United now, it's so funny because we're now doing better. Arsenal. I'm watching you guys and I'm like, bro, this is like us a few years ago. Honest to God, like not even to take the piss. The thing of the way fans are with players, like loving players. I was one of them, like, give him a chance because I love him. He's an Arsenal boy. I used to be like that with like Hector Bellerin and that. It come a point where you just had to say, nah, bro, these guys ain't good enough if you want to proceed to do more. And you just have to let them go because sometimes the toxicness of the player from the times before, you can't wash it off. You need to just get rid of them. You have to say, you know what? It is what it is. And that's why I actually rate what you've done with Sancho because I know Sancho will probably do all right at Chelsea, but he wouldn't have done that at United this season. He wouldn't have.
Agreed.
It's too far gone at United. So I predicted at the start of the season. I'll be honest. I predicted United to be top 4. I'll be honest. Now I'm starting to look at it and starting to think maybe not. But at the same time, yeah. When we
Look at Giuseppe. He's questioning his life decisions. He's like, I said United top 4, but maybe
and Giuseppe, that just wasn't you. There was many other rival fans I'd spoken to and United fans who also, and I always said the same thing. Look at our manager. Look at our team. Where we scoring goals.
I don't think it's, once again, You know what? I always said this as well. I don't even think so much it's the team. I think it's this manager. I'll be honest. It's the manager.
Within 5 games, I'll be ready to apologize. I was wrong about Ten Hag. I just need 5 more games. That's all I need. Because because people need to understand something. What I said still holds merit, in which, okay, Habibi, there's no one in the market. Yeah, who are you supposed to get? I get it. Yes, Ten Hag out and all this, fair enough. But the options are so shit. Like, there is no one available of quality other than Hansi Flick, who was already stolen by Barcelona directly because he's the only available guy. So I'm now thinking, okay, let's wait and see these next 5-6 games. What will this guy do? Now Ugarte is here. I want to see. Does he change some shit? Does he play differently? Does he do something different? Does he get results? What exactly happens? But over these next 5 games, if there's like 2 draws, 1 loss, but I'm like, yep, Ten Hag need to go.
I personally think there's a better manager sitting next to him, mate. In Van Nistelrooy.
Yeah, but they've tried that with Oli.
I hear it, but I think Van Nistelrooy is one better than Oli as a manager. And 2, I think that if you've got it's the perfect thing to do to just sack off this guy. And I was a firm believer that they brought him in because they actually want him to take over. I think they want Van Nistelrooy to be the future Manchester United manager. If that's right or wrong, I don't know yet. But like, think that's why they brought him in and said, like, a season, be in the club, then we're sacking him at the end of the season, unless he done something crazy or like won like the league or something. That would never happen. We're sacking him and you'll take over the reins, but we want to integrate you in. That's why, because I can't understand Van Nistelrooy going from managing a team, and he wasn't managing any like nobody team. It was like PSV and stuff. Like it was decent teams.
It's a significant team, of a decent
to drop
size,
into second to Ten Hag never made sense to me. That's why I think they've promised him the job. I think they sack him and bring just Van Nistelrooy, and I'll do it after the next loss. I'd probably do it, but I don't know. Going into the game about dropping players and playing like starting 11 or not, you've got to be resting someone like Kobe Mainoo. He's young. Why are you playing him? Why are you going to be playing him in this Carabao Cup game against a champion? What league are they in?
If he plays against Barnsley today, everyone should be Ten Hag out.
Yeah. But maybe Ineos. Maybe Ineos is going to be the difference.
The guy needs a break.
Maybe Ineos will be the difference. Like maybe Ineos will tell Ten Hag he has to like rotate. You know, that's the only thing that they can hold. Maybe a little grain.
I think you heard about that, Giuseppe. That Ineos are going to change this, that, and the third. But then you seen after the Liverpool loss in the international break, the conversation was, "Oh, Ineos are underwhelmed by his play." It's all nonsense. It's all just I've never seen.
He was the
like
biggest. I don't know why the FA Cup saved him. As much as people want to say it didn't, the FA Cup saved him. They would have 100% sacked him. I do agree with the thing of what.
See why I told you Poch is better than Ten Hag? I told you he'd have been so much better.
They both would have failed.
Yeah,
I disagree. Poch would have had your team at least. You know what you just said? The problem is scoring goals. Remember what I told you last season? Poch always gets your best forward, tells him cook, Habibi. Are you seeing Palmer under Maresca? So much worse than Palmer under Poch. Yes, Poch is not tactician and all that shit, but Mbappe had his best numbers under Poch. Kane and Son had their best numbers under Poch. One thing with Poch is going forward, he's a good manager. I told you should have gotten Poch instead of Ten Hag. That would have been smart because he at least would have solved your problem of not scoring.
No, I want a manager of a better caliber than both. Yeah, that's the problem.
I get what you mean, but I generally believe Man United are looking at Arsenal and they're going to do that. I think they want to do the Van Nistelrooy thing, man. I generally believe that's what Ineos are going to do. I think they're going to go for the long term. Van Nistelrooy being like Arteta and coming in and building it from the ground up. He's maybe doing stuff like you see how he's coaching players already. Like maybe that's all in preparation for him coming in, being the manager and trying to do that. Will it work? The thing is for Man United, it's like Man United for a long time have laughed at Arsenal's 20 years without a Prem. Like you're creeping. You're creeping. Like that could come, and then it's gonna. And if Arsenal win one league, if Arsenal win the league this year,
that life.
It's so funny because if Arsenal win the league this year, for example, Man United now become that team where it's like you ain't won the league for this amount of time.
Yeah, when are you
can't even do the
up?
Arsenal thing anymore because we would have won a league. It will be now. It's going to be made. Liverpool have won one, so Tottenham don't matter because they've never won anything. So you don't count them. It's now going to go to Manchester United, and then that will start creeping up and up and up, and it will get long. But Man United, it's hard because it's from the ground, it's from the top down, the illness of the club. But I think hopefully for you, man, it will start getting better now under Ineos and stuff. It won't be over one season, it won't be under this manager, but it's so hard. Definitely with the way City have been, it's so bad for United as well, because it's like the last however many years, the people been battling is all Man United rivals. And I know Man United have a lot of rivals. It's Liverpool, and then it was Man City, and now it's Man City, and it's Arsenal. And it's like, bro, all the ops of it wouldn't maybe be so bad if it was like Spurs and Chelsea. Like for United.
Yeah, absolutely not. I agree.
United have to watch all the teams they hate so much compete. That makes it harder for you not competing.
Facts.
Like, for example, Arsenal, we didn't really have to worry. Like, for us, it was when we weren't winning the league. And United for like the end, obviously, Man United, they've always just been competing at the start. But like after, when it was like Liverpool and City, for Arsenal fans, it weren't as, if it was like Chelsea and Spurs,
yeah, then it's a problem. Yeah, I'll get you.
But listen, Man United, they've got a long way to go. I think they've still got a lot of deadwood to get out. But I'd say the positive Man United have to take is the transfer window. Like, it was I think such a positive transfer window for Man United, even in the sense of not going to spend 80 million on the Everton centre back. Like, he's a great Brantford. Yep. He's a great player, but even that's the Man United.
That is true. That is a sign that they have changed. You are correct.
Yeah.
Because the transfer window just went like, here's 80 million, give me Brantford.
Yeah.
We have done that. That's one thing I praise the
club.
There's so many players that need to leave the club still. There's so many players. Even though we did.
Shout out to my guy Eddie. Anyone can get it.
Can Anthony go down? I want to ask you something, boys. Can Anthony go down as the worst ever signing in the Premier League?
Yes. Given the price tag.
For the price. Let's talk with the price and what he's done.
Price tag, hell yeah. He can be given as the worst signing.
Him and Richarlison, innit? Him and Richarlison, the two little fake Brazilians.
Those two right there. You got me. Brazilian football has fell off. Let me read this Connor super chat before I let these guys go. It's been one hell of a stream. Big up to Connor, who says, to be clear, I don't still think City will win the league due to the Pep factor, but saying Arteta isn't a good manager is so over the top. This is
I never said Arteta is not a good manager. Arteta is a good manager. Like, that's where people get misunderstood. But good managers don't win Premier Leagues. You have to be extra special. Like, is Arteta the guy for getting? Arteta is the guy get you top four solidified. Yes, get you in a title race. Yes, win an FA Cup as he's done. Yes, I think League Cup as well. But when we're talking winning Premier Leagues and toppling the giants, is he that guy? No, he's not. Like, again, sorry to let people know, he's not gonna go and beat a Pep to a league title or beat Ancelotti over two legs.
I don't know many managers. I don't even think there's an. This is why I stick with Arteta all the time, though, because I do not think there is an available manager in football that can currently guarantee you beating this Pep guy with the league.
If you could somehow convince Klopp to be your Arsenal manager,
that's the sort of thing. But he's retired completely out of the game. He's now.
Unless you give him like 10
it's about go and compete, because Pep's not unbeatable, because we watch Klopp do. We watch over. Is it very tough to do? Yes. Do I think a Flick could do it with his resources? Yeah, Flick was available.
We all need this guy to leave the league, bro. Not even Arsenal. People say it's Arsenal. Everyone collectively should be praying that this guy leaves at the end of the season for the Premier League itself. Forget Arsenal. Forget the Premier League itself.
I'm praying that they get found guilty so I can shit on all his achievements. And all of a sudden, Jurgen Klopp is the 3-time Premier League winner in my eyes.
Arteta's too.
What do you mean, this guy? I'm going to put him just below Ferguson.
I know you
because Wenger won 3 titles, but Klopp won 3 titles and a Champions League.
So he can hold that. Yeah, I know you are hoping that.
What happens to Arteta? Sam, what happens to Arteta? 2 leagues in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone eats except Tottenham. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Make sure you guys are slapping the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel if you're ready to do so. Big up my guy Will, who rightfully pointed out we're actually only 20 likes away from 400 likes as we're live. So please do hit the like button. Do subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Go subscribe to Sarcasm City TV. Go subscribe to Sicilian Gunner TV. Subscribe to Deji's channel as well. Big up to every single one of you guys. This stream is going to take you over to the football terrace. You get me on straight facts. And LB is there. So how can we piss off LB? I'm going to be in that chat. Every single one of you spam Husam Raid 115 because I want LB's face to change color and he's ginger in it, so his face will turn red directly. So go spam in the chat Husam Raid 115. Everyone copy paste it right now. I'm gonna be spamming that in the chat as well, because Man City can absolutely expeditiously hold that. Let's go spam that in the Football Terrace chat right now. Husam Raid 115. Love you all. Big up to Connor once again. Thank you so much, my brother, for supporting the channel. Nick, Terence, Ed, JJ, Marco, Traian, even you, Ray, JC, Navi, and H for the super chats. Big up every single super chat. Thank you guys so much. This has been one hell of a stream. Husam Raid 115 in the Terrace chat. And I'm going to see you guys whenever we see you. Peace.
There you go.